We are relatively safe right now. I think we can take on this this hound. Oh, do I? Do I think I can take on this hound? Yeah, come on, go, 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 don't kill me, thank you. So we're going to rest until healed, if at all possible. You hear the slow rustling of a very, oh god, you hear the slow rustling of a very distant drain. This means that there is a branch in this section on the floor, which is temporary. There is a gateway to a very little side branch which slowly decays over time. So you have to, and it activates the moment you enter the level. So if I go up again, the entrance that we discovered will degenerate. So I don't think we'll be finding it. But another interesting little problem just wandered into our view. This is a ghost. This is the ghost of Remember the 66 Billions. So this is Dungeon Crawl, the web tile version. This is a version which I play on the French server. And what happens that if someone dies on a certain level, you leave your ghost there. And every time you play a game, there is a chance you will encounter one of the deceased characters of other players. In this case, it's one of the characters played by Remember the 6th billion. And it's probably a very, very bad idea to fight him. It's a novice gargoyle monk with 2 armor class points, 2 evasion posts, magic resistant code. Yeah, it's extremely dangerous, immune to poison because it's a gargoyle. It can fly, it's incapable of using the stairs, and it's intelligent, but we cannot stay here. So we have a very dangerous ghost on this level, but when we go up, there are 2 of them waiting for us upstairs as well. So this is really a choice. This is a bad choice all the way around. So I think we'll take our chances going up, because this ghost is too much for us to handle. I'm going to step up and make sure the mage doesn't have a way of firing directly at us. So we killed the ogre. I now need to kill this guy really very quickly. If we take one more hit, I'm going to quaff a potion to get some health back. So right about now, potion of heal wounds, W. Let's hope that we kill this. Yeah, we killed it. Okay, that's nice. You killed the deep elf mage. Your fighting increases to 7 and your armor skills increase to 4. We pick up the hand axe of electrocution, and let's see what that does for us. It has a base accuracy of 3, so we hit with it very often. It has a base damage of 7, but it will also electrify. Occasionally upon striking the foe, it will discharge some electrical energy and cause terrible harm. It falls in the category of axes, and if you remember correctly, we are training axes. Now we are training maces and flails, and because we have picked up an axe which the game thinks is beneficial to us, it has now also decided to train axes. I don't know if we are going to do this actually. We have a maces and flail of 8 and axes of almost 5. Now I'm going to shut down the training of the axes for now and concentrate on armor and shields. I'm going to set up shields as well, so I can just put them like that. Okay, rest until healed. Rube now believes you are ready to make a new sacrifice. Oh really? What does this mean? This is new. Yeah. So did we get an ability? Yeah. So apparently we have earned enough piety, or we have now fallen into the graces of our great god Ru, and we can now make a sacrifice of love, a sacrifice of courage, a sacrifice of arcana, reject sacrifice. Okay, what does this mean? Oh, if we go to the exclamation mark, describe what? No, let's describe the first one. Sacrifice love. Sacrifices love, causing all creatures to become hostile, even those created by you. Monsters that are spell residue and which do not act independently, such as orbs of destruction and special weapons, are the only things which can remain friendly. If you make the sacrifice, your power granted by Ru becomes stronger. Sacrifices cannot be taken back, so causing all creatures to become hostile. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't think I mind doing this. So what does courage entail? Sacrifices courage, causing you to become terrified of dangerous monsters. Such monsters fill you with horror, which reduces the power of your spells and your ability to hit it. If you make the sacrifice, your powers granted by rule become stronger. But this doesn't seem so advantageous. Okay, we're not going to do this for the short term. Sacrifices arcana, causing you to lose the ability to use certain schools of magic. Oh, I really don't mind you sacrificing this. We'll sacrifice this in an instant. If you make the sacrifice, your powers granted by rule will become stronger. Yep, we're going to sacrifice arcana. No problem. Do what? Sacrifice arcana. Do you really want to make this sacrifice? Yes, I do. Okay, you can no longer study or cast fire magic. You can no longer study or cast necromancy magic or charms magic. You exude an aura of power that intimidates your foes. Oh, nice. A cloak, and we are going to wear that cloak. So this is a new god for me. I don't know what is actually what this will bring us. Do we get? No. So the sacrifices have disappeared. So perhaps in a bit we will get the chance to do another sacrifice. As you can see, we have become a bit more powerful, and I wasn't that afraid of the ogre anymore. This is one of the more heavy hitters in the game. A giant spiked up wielded by the ogre. So we were just up with an ogre who had a possibility of doing 22 base damage. So with a good hit, it could possibly take half of our hit points off. Thank God it didn't. I didn't look very carefully at what he was wielding. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so quick to attack him without any thought. Oh well, you live and learn. Seems like we've already explored this part of the dungeon according to the minimap, so I'm going back up. Quickly kill you, butcher you. Okay, let's pick up some gold. Another orc wizard. Will it be alone? It is definitely not alone. So right now the orc wizard is surrounded by its friends. They can switch places, by the way, but oh, this is really advantageous for us. The wizard is up front. Ah, damn it. Because remember, oh no, this is not. The priests can smite from range, but the wizard must have a line of sight to kill you. So right now it's just actually tap attacking through the targets until they're all dead. Nothing special really on the floor, so we rest until healed and move on again. A robe, usually worn by the magic casters. We are wearing plate mail. We're not even. We're not even going to bother with looking at the rope actually. Let's quickly explore some more of the dungeon. We'll quick travel to an unexplored place. A club not really of our liking. Butcher you. It used to be so in the game that you had to sacrifice the corpses of the creatures you killed to gain any piety, but they changed that recently so that for you don't have to sacrifice the corpses anymore. You did that by praying over a corpse, and then the corpse will be consumed and well actually put into additional piety for the god that you were playing. But that's not no longer the case. Another helmet we can use because we have horns. We cannot use helmets. We can wear, so that's also built into the game. You cannot wear every piece of armor on every character. For example, ogres can only wear really big cloth items, skins, and you have centaurs. They can only wear beardings, I believe they are called. And then you have the more fragile characters, which cannot use anything like plate mail. These are worker ants. They aren't very scary, but when these are around, there's also the possibility that there are fire ants around as well. And fire ants are a lot more dangerous than these ones. Okay, so there's 4 of them. We are not positioned very smartly right now because the first 3 ants can all hit us if they want, so we're going to pull them back into a nice little kill zone and take care of them one by one without even without suffering great loss to our own hit points. So this is the way you play the game basically. You try and explore the game levels carefully. Oh, did you see that? Did you see a character blinking in and out of existence in the hallway above us? That's a character that made itself invisible, and we don't have anything on us right now, or we can quaff or read anything that makes characters visible. For example, you can cast a scroll of fog, and in the fog you can see invisible characters, or you can even wear a ring of see invisibility. And then of course you would see the invisible character. But the best thing we can do right now is walk straight into that hallway, so he can't get out. If he gets out of the upper hallway before we get in, he can be anywhere, and we are blindly going to try and hit him. If we can trap him into the hallway, hopefully. Okay, it's a sky beast, so he's already almost out of the hallway. So this is not. If he manages to get out, this is very bad for us. Okay, hopefully he doesn't turn invisible again. No, we killed it. So we got away a bit lucky over here, because if he was able to get out in a form of invisibility, then we would have been hitting air and hoping to get some decent hits in just by chance. And with sky beasts, you're not going to win that often. So that was lucky for us that we caught that just in time, or he just decided not to go invisible. So I think we have discovered most of the floor. We're going to auto travel, see if the game can find any bits of the floor we haven't explored yet, which were none. It's telling us right now, done exploring. Okay, there's a way down fairly close to us, so let's take the stairs down. Remember, this was the level in for which we found the ghost, and this is the level with the temporary side branch. So there are some scrolls which do magic mapping, and we haven't identified one of them, but we have a lot of scrolls actually which we have 3 of. So what I propose is we go back up again, and in the relative quiet that we have here, we are going to read some of the scrolls we haven't identified yet. So we found a scroll of amnesia, which makes it able for you to forget certain spells. It is quite handy for if you are running a spellcaster and you have reached the upper limit of the amount of spells you can memorize. You can use this spell to forget one of them, and then you get your points back and you can memorize the spell that you want. Okay, what do we have 3 of as well? So we have 3 scrolls of N. Let's read one of those. This is a scroll of fog. That would be very handy if we are attacked with by one of the sky beasts again. It will make it visible again. So this is quite helpful what we're doing right now. Let's also go into identifying some of the scrolls we have 2 for. We are going into a relatively dangerous part of the dungeon, and I want to know as much information on what I'm carrying around as possible. So this was a scroll of teleportation, and you can see here that we have got the status effect of teleportation. In a turn or 2, and we will be teleported to a random part of the dungeon we are on. So we're now at 55:16, and I think we can probably read one more scroll, and then we are going to be somewhere else in this dungeon. It was a scroll of enchant armor, so now we get to enchant one of our armors with a plus sign. It's either a good idea to throw that on our cloak, because cloaks are not found that frequently into the game, so we'll be running with this one for quite a bit. Well, we have a fair bit of chance that we'll be finding some more decent of our other armors. So we're going to enchant the cloak with a +1. And then we are going to read, do we have 2 of something? Yes, we have 2 scrolls of this one, Vibu. And that was a scroll of immolation. So that what immolation does, it blasts out a heat radius all around you. The air around you briefly surges with heat, but it dissipates. It used to be so that you would also immolate yourself at the center of the heat, but they've taken that out as well. So there you go. That was the teleportation kicking in. So you can see it took about 5 turns for that scroll to take effect. So you need to cast, when you're casting this in a battle situation, it isn't instant. It takes quite a bit of time, so you need to be able to survive a turn or now 5, for example. So don't use these things too late. This is a very, very dangerous floor which we have wandered into. A wyvern zombie. What is so special about you? It's fast, can fly, it cannot regenerate, it is large, and it is soon also dead. There it is. Another ant and a crimson fire imp. Now the question is this fire imp here by itself, or was it summoned? I think it's just by itself. I can't remember if fire ants drop corpses. We are now poisoned by the fire ant and we're hungry. We are going to eat a royal jelly. Wasn't really necessary, but yeah. Arrows, we're not going to bother with that. And again a scorpion, so we're now getting in with adversaries that are a bit more dangerous, have different effects on us, so they poison us over time. Another scorpion and another, and an ogre as well. Let's go back to the stairs, so we have a possible way to escape if things get too dire. As you can see now, It takes a bit more time to get things dead right now than it was on the previous floors. So it's time to start exploring with a bit more care than we used to. Ah, an electric eel. These things suck. We don't have any resistances whatsoever to speak of just now, so they are all coming through at full value. And these things have a range which is really large. And as you can see, they with one hit they took out about a third of our hit points. I really don't like this. These creatures when you don't have any electricity resistance, so we should get the hell out of here if we can. Yeah, that's there you go. And now we are out of line of sight. A shadow imp is following us. We're going to stand our ground right here and see what comes around the corner without trying to stepping into the line of sight of that eel again, because this just isn't a phantom. Those are generally just annoying, not really scary. We are already wearing plate armor, so we're not going to bother with that. Okay, what are our skills looking like? So we're getting our armor and our shields to a relatively good amount. We can see that our armor class has been raised to 18 and our evasion is back up to 5. So we are increasing those, and our shield value is also has now increased to 10. So what should we do next? Using your god, I think your god powers is an evocation spell. But I don't know how our god works just yet, so I think I'm going to let armor and shield. No, I'm going to turn armor and shields off for right now. F and H. And I'm going to turn maces and fighting back on again to get some more hit points and to get some more damage out of the weapons we are fighting with. Yeah, I think that is the wisest idea. I think that's not a terrible idea. Let's put it that way. Another scorpion which bites the dust fairly quickly. Maces and flails immediately jump up to 8, which is nice. Quasit, he has a name. Why do you have a name? A cowardly little demon with a long, viciously pointed tail. Its sharp claws are coated with venom. Aha. It looks easy. Well, if you look easy, then we'll just walk right up to you and clobber you. So we now have found a second scroll of enchant armor. What's happening in our inventory? You need to look at this rather often to really identify what you're working with and what you have, because those are the important things when you're getting into nasty situations. So we still haven't found any additional scrolls of identify, which makes it a bit, well, we could quaff identify what the bubbly green potion does. I think we're going to try that. Shift O and quaff that. It was a potion of cancellation. You feel magically purged. So if you have magical effects on you, you can purge those with that potion. I don't use them so often, so it's not really wasted. But we still have the glass ring. And we have a ring of stealth. We are absolutely not stealthy in a plate armor, so the ring of stealth, it really does nothing for us. I think I'm going to wield identify the glass ring. So we're going to put that on and we're going to change that out for the ring of stealth. So for U. And we actually gained a ring of poison resistance, which is really nice, because now we have a little plus in poison resistance. This level we encountered several poisonous adders and well, imps and scorpions which were trying to poison us, and we now have a little poison resistance to help us against that. Also, we have clarity and sustain attributes from the amulet of clarity and the ring of sustain abilities. We can memorize 7 spell levels. Alright, didn't we find some books? Yeah, we did. We have a book of Civ Muna's volume of Excretion. We have a very difficult names handbook of darkness and Behemoth's Incunabulum of confrontation. Now, well, let's see what all of them do. I'm intrigued by the last one, which will let us throw magic darts. It's a conjuration level. It's not really that valuable for us, I think. Civ Muna allows us to cast a Corona. Select a spell. What does that do? Causes a halo of glowing light to surround and effectively outline a creature. This glow offsets the dark, musty atmosphere of the dungeon and makes the affected creature appreciably easier to hit. So that is something that would be beneficial to us. Casting coronas on creatures so we can bash their heads in with a bit more ease. And the last option was Kikubaguda's Handbook of Darkness. No, not that one. Animate skeletons. It's grayed out. I think we cannot even cast that because it's prohibited. So we're not going to do anything, but we're going to read the Civ Mufasa book, and we're going to put some spell points. Do you really want to consume 1 spell level and leaving 6? Yeah. Okay. So we've now gained an ability to cast a spell. And how did I actually go about looking at those spells? Oh kijk, nee. Because right now the casting of the spell is not really advantageous for us, because oh, this is nice, a pair of polished gloves. Gee, let's build equip them. We are doing this, so why stop? You finished putting on the +4 gloves of Tuat. Resist poison. Dexterity +4. Really? These look like there are a really nice pair of gloves. So they have a base rating of 4, but they give 5 additional armor class because they are just that good. They affect our dexterity in a +4 points. It affects your magic capacity with -9. Yeah, well, that's us not casting spells. So I don't have to look at how that spell casting was going to be like for us, because right now with this ring, we are not going to do that. This is a really nice, oh sorry, these are really nice gloves for us to have. Wasn't there a ogre in here? Where did the guy go to? Oh well. Jellies. Jellies can typically corrode your weapons for a short while if you are unlucky, but we killed it fast enough for that not to happen. Let's quickly explore a bit more of the dungeon. Butcher you up so we can, there we have an ogre. And again, this one is wielding a spiked club, so